Can you hear me well, or there is
Yeah,
noise?
we can hear you very well. No noise.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
we can hear you
I'm in a crowded place, but if it is okay for you, fine. Morgan or Francois, could you please promote me as a presenter? Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, Carlo. Hello,
Okay,
good afternoon,
thank you.
everybody.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good morning.
Let's wait just a couple of minutes. Maybe we can start. If you hear noise from my side, please tell me, because I'm at a conference and I didn't find a quiet place. But I hope you can hear me without too much noise. So the recording has already started. I think we can start with the participant. I saw that from the voting members, we have Team Orange, Nokia, Ericsson, and Deutsche Telekom, and Telefonica. So we have, if needed, the quorum for voting. And beside this participant, I saw Red Hat. I don't know if there are other companies that I'm missing.
I think Team from Suzy just joined.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Because I have a single screen, so it's not easy for me to see all the participants. Okay. So let's start with the general information. The next TSC will be in 2 weeks on the 15th of October. And as general news, we have the release of the version 1.5 of Sylva yesterday. That is an important result. Another information, general information, is that Yaril Ortiz, that I don't know if she's connected, but in any case, she will be our reference person for Linux Foundation, while Esther Garcia will be in maternity leave. So for a few months, we will have Yaril taking care of us. And I think we have also a new representative from Nokia, Amit Dash. So welcome in the community.
Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate and look forward to working with the team members here.
Good, welcome. So said that, I think we can move to the first work group 1. Is this the correct text?
Yes, as you told before, the major announcement is about the v1.5 that is available. Still, we have to work on the release note. We didn't have time to work on it, but it has been tagged today, actually, a few hours ago. So 1.5 is available, and we also tagged a new patch release of 1.4. 1.4.9 has been tagged last Monday. Okay, and so we can focus on 1.6. The release date is end of November. As a teaser for this 1.6 and for future releases, Guillaume proposed me to show you the roadmap we are working on. So I can do it now, or I can do it after each work group present its slot, as you wish.
I think we can do it now. If it is not too long, I think it's better
it can be
to
pretty quick.
Okay, so please go on.
Just let me. Do you see my slide? Do you see my my slide? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the version we agreed on with the TSC, and things have been updated. So today we have been releasing 1.5, as I told you. What we plan to include in 1.6, it's really about, sorry, but there is a lot of noise behind you, Carlo. Do you mind muting? Thank you. So 1.6, it's about first having a full integration of OpenShift. We keep working with Red Hat about that. Most of the work has been done with 1.5, but we will keep working on missing pieces in order to be confident in using OpenShift, for example, in validation centers. One feature that we've been discussing and that we will keep discussing, that because we'd like to have it with 1.6, is the capability to have an egress gateway within Sylva with I mean, a single gateway, because we already support a kind of egress gateway, but it's not satisfying because it's not using a single IP.
Mathieu, are you changing the slide or are you still showing the first slide?
I don't.
Because I'm seeing the first slide, and I think also other are seeing.
Yeah, we are still on the cover slide, Sylva Roadmap. I confirm.
Okay. How do you do? Okay. Should be
Okay,
better
now
this way.
it's better.
Okay, let me continue then. So egress gateway is still a candidate for 1.6, but it will depend on our discussions with regard to the switch to Cilium. We still plan to switch to OpenBAO instead of using the old version, but still open source version of Vault. We keep working with the ORAN Alliance to have Sylva as a candidate to OCloud O2 interfaces. And something that is pretty new, maybe you noticed what is happening into the code today, but we have merge requests about being capable of supporting AI applications that require NVIDIA GPUs within Sylva with specific Sylva units. And today we are working on that for bare metal clusters. So it could be a candidate for as a tech preview feature for 1.6. And something that I didn't talk about is a work that is ongoing for better automating user and role creations. Sylva 1.7 focusing on supporting Kubernetes 1.34 and the update versions of every Sylva components. We still consider a switch from standard OSs, slash Ubuntu, to immutable OSs. We've been discussing that with team, with Susie's team, with Tim Irenish and Susie. Future releases of libmicro would be a good candidate for that switch. So we'll keep discussing with Susie and other OS vendors on that topic. So hybriding the cloud is still a topic, and we will still collaborate with the NIF tooling zone, with the NIF tools to manage the life cycle of the CNF on top of a workload cluster. We still have to discuss with the networking working group, where discussions are ongoing about host-based routing. Maybe we can have something about that in v1.7. Still a candidate, but it will depend on the progress of that working group. And we do have topics about adding some service mesh into Sylva. Some CNF may require that technology to be part of the infrastructure. It can be discussed. It introduces a lot of complexity into the stack. Do we want that? So it's an open discussion. Okay, and we will keep on producing Sylva releases 1.8, 1.9. Those releases are planned for 2026. Well, it's too far away to discuss what we can put in that in those releases. But we will follow the pace of Kubernetes for sure. Any comment?
Do you plan to propose this for a vote on the TSC maybe in the next meeting?
Yep, this is what Guillaume told me. Not having the member voting on that today, but let everyone think about it and have a vote for the next TSC meeting.
Okay, if you can send me the slides, I will integrate in the minutes.
Okay.
So everybody can see them.
Sure.
Okay, I share again. Can you see again my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So if there are no questions for work group 1, we can move to work group 2 validation center. I think that Guillermo is connected.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Carlo. Today I will be covering Luis because he can't connect to today's meeting, so I'm going to comment about working group 2 evolution. So the progress from since the last TSC meeting is that there are 2 more workloads added into the backlog. The first one is the Suma Networks 5G subscriber data management. And the second one is Mavenir's telephony application server, that is a module from the IMS of Mavenir. We are progressing with active validations. In the case of Orange validation platforms, we are validating the Juniper Cloud Native router and the Mavenir TAS. And in the case of Telefonica validation platforms, we are validating a Juniper firewall that is called Juniper CSRX. We have defined a new work line within the working group 2 that is to define or to create a new subgroup within the working group 2 that is going to be in charge of flavor validation. This means that, as you know, in working group 1, many new Kubernetes distributions are being included or are already included in Sylva. So the idea is to define a subgroup that is going to test that all the new Kubernetes distributions added in Sylva are compliant with all the requirements that were defined at the beginning of Sylva project. So the idea is that we check that everything is going properly now in the validations and in the future in the production environment. So this is what we have done, or what we are doing, and the next steps are to complete, of course, the active validations and to set up the first meeting to create the new subgroup. We have received some interest about this topic. I think, if I'm not wrong, that we have already at least 5 professionals that are interested on working on this. So I think maybe next week we will schedule the first meeting for this topic. Then on third place, we have to complete the validation process, the 6-win BSR validation process that is being executed in what is going to be the first validation platform of White Stack. It is going to be called White Stack 1, and the process to go from only a proposal of a validation platform to an official validation platform in Sylva is to complete the 6-win BSR validation, and this includes this in-service software upgrade of the Kubernetes cluster. We are at this point right now is the last point of this validation. After this meeting, I have a meeting with Luis Vega from White Stack, so hopefully in the following days we are going to complete this task. And if everything goes well next week during the working group 2 meeting, maybe we will have good news regarding this topic. And finally, we are starting to build a new validation platform. In this case, it's going to be in OpenNebula premises. As you may know, OpenNebula has developed their CAPI infrastructure provider. It's called CAP1, and it's already integrated in Sylva code in working group 1. So currently, we have available the environment values for this combination, the RKE2 plus OpenNebula. We are going to start working with OpenNebula in order to let them know how to proceed to start testing this new combination of RKE2 plus OpenNebula on their premises. And of course, we are going to use again the 6WIN BSR validation process to check that everything is properly defined and specified on OpenNebula and on the CAPI infrastructure provider, so we can continue for the next steps to let OpenNebula create its very first evaluation platform too. And I think this is all. I don't know if you have any comment or question.
Thank you, Guillermo. Any question regarding work group 2? If not, we can move to work group 3 on security.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, thank you,
François,
Carlos.
please.
So on our side, we continue our discussion regarding the security hardening. So we studied OS and Kubernetes hardening already done on Sylva, and we are moving on to write some guidelines regarding these features. And for the next elements, we will discuss in our working group. There is still feedback to the CFD form to be given by the work group 1. It still need to be planned. And also regarding the documentation, we have still an ongoing work in order to retrieve the CNF guidelines page. And when we will perform the first draft of our documentation regarding security hardening, we will put also this part on the Sylva documentation website. And we will have also an exchange with the work group 2 regarding role-based access control. There is some proposals to add new rules, so we will discuss in the work group 3 and give feedback to the work group 2 on this topic. And that's it for this working group.
Thank you. Is there any comment or question regarding work group 3? Seems not, so we can move to work group 4. Wamin, please.
Thank you, Carlo. So most of the work in the work 4 is to add a new interactive web app based on Flask so that you can provide the customizations to the green dashboard. So as you all know, the green dashboard has most of the rendering and time series display functionalities. But if you want to do customizations, it becomes a little bit overkill. So the web app, on the other hand, bridge the gap. So if you have a PUE, for example, right now there's a PUE customization and also the carbon intensity option over there. So once you put in these numbers, so the end-to-end rendering specifically to your data center and platforms can be updated. So we plan to have these functionalities to be demoed at the TSC in November. Once we have all this information available, I will ask for the slots in one of the meetings in 2 months. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Wamin. I think it's a good idea to have a demo. And please let us know in advance so we can fix the slot in one of the next TSC.
Thank you so much, Carlo.
Is there any question for Workgroup 4? Not, we move to Workgroup 5 on communication and adoption. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I will do the presentation, Carlo.
Thank you.
Could you maybe refresh the page because we actually updated our homework. So yep. Yep. Okay, perfect. Nice. So basically, I want to start with two upcoming releases, communication releases. The first one is obviously with Whitestack. We are going to do a press release with Whitestack about their new validation centers and how it demonstrates their ability to onboard CNN, with Sylva serving as a robust telco cloud solution. So great news. Of course, it will be on all our social media. So please like, subscribe, and so on. Second thing we are going to communicate about is with Red Hat. We are doing a blog post with Red Hat. It has not been released yet, so you still have to be patient. And it will be about Red Hat OpenShift achieves Sylva 1.5 compliance, which is pretty cool. So again, when it's released, we will need you guys to broadcast the news everywhere on social and so on. So those were for the communication releases. Second thing I want you to remember is we have a big event coming on October, on the 28th of October. It will be the Linux Foundation Europe Member Summit in Ghent, so in Belgium. And the idea is to showcase our work in the event. And we will have, thanks to the Linux Foundation, a table where we will be able to showcase basically our updates about Sylva, what we do, have posters, videos, and so on to promote Sylva. The idea is to have two people being there and being available to talk to everyone, because there will be a lot of attendees. So the goal is to attract anyone to the table and to discuss with them about Sylva. So what I would like to know is someone available for the event? In Orange, I'm working right now on the topic to know who we can send, do we have the budget, and so on. But maybe someone in the community can come with me or with someone from Orange. So are there any volunteer or victims to come with us to Ghent, which is a very pretty city?
Orange is buying a round of drinks to the participants.
Yeah, I should have started by that. We are buying the beers, which are really good in Belgium. And actually, what you just need to take into account are the costs for the transport, and maybe the accommodation. But the cost for the event is already taken care of by the Linux Foundation.
I asked internally if we can have a participation, but I'm not sure. Up to now, I didn't receive positive answers.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I will try again, but I cannot guarantee.
Okay. So I will send an email to every work group leaders if you can, or if you need to ask your management or your company for any other reason. Please let us know if you could be available. It will be of great help for us. And the last topic I wanted to address is about our X/Twitter account. As you know, Sylva has a Twitter account, an X account, but we are going to lose our access to it due to technical difficulties. We already called the the X organization and the team who are regulating the professional accounts. There is nothing they can do. So we are under the obligation to delete this account and create a new one. So do not be surprised. You will see that we are going to delete the account and we will have a new one. And please subscribe to it when it's done. I just wanted to let you know so that you do not panic if you see that we disappear for a while. And that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Any question or comment? Not, so we can quickly move to workgroup 6. So Morgan.
Yes, so just to mention that the minutes from previous meeting, including the demo from test cubes are online, as well as a replay, and the next session is planned for tomorrow. And tomorrow we will have a presentation from the working group 3, so we'll start with a security presentation, and I think it's a hot topic for all the members of working group 6 with the CRA and ISA v2 coming and the impact you may have on your GitOps descriptors. And we'll have also an update from Swisscom and an operator called SDC that is used in order to post-configure or post-provision lots of vendor solutions. So if you are used to deal with netconfig configuration at the end of an installation, you know that usually you have to do lots of things manually, and Nokia plus Swisscom plus other people within the SDC community, which is neither in Sylva nor in CNCF, but it's more a kind of ad hoc community, is developing an operator for that. And Swisscom already made a first presentation, I would say 6 months ago, and there is a new major release coming, so they will share with the community the feature and yeah, make a demo of this. And we will keep also a few minutes tomorrow to discuss. There are some requests from contributors to join, but they are in the APAC zone, so people from Australia and from India, I think. So we'll discuss if we cannot move the slot a bit earlier. So I know that for open source community, it's always very difficult to meet everybody's needs. Typically, I know that from the working group 2, White Stacks, they're also doing things and they could be interesting. So they're based in Chile. So we can have a time slot that is convenient for everybody. But maybe we can do one time APAC zone compatible, one time with US area compatible. So we'll discuss that, and we'll discuss also a question raised by DT and Swisscom on the opportunity to write a new guideline. We made the first one last year about the software delivery, but we could be a bit more prescriptive on supply chain because of also the security constraints that are coming. So it will be more, last slot will be for discussions and for admin stuff related to the working group 6. So everybody is invited, of course, to participate. And thanks for the working group 3 to have accepted. It was very appreciated, the presentation from working group 2 last time. I think several people from the working group 6 are not fully aware of everything that is done within Sylva. But so it's important also to have this kind of liaison between the working group. So thanks again.
Okay, thank you, Morgan. Any question for workgroup 6? Any comment? No, so we can move to the last workgroup for the first update, a real update, I think. So please,
yes.
Vuk.
Thank you very much, Carlo. So finally, we have held our first meeting in a regular monthly series. This was sort of a kickoff on 25th of September. And the start and interest in the working group is promising. So we had beside Deutsche Telekom and Orange, who collaborated already on preparing this topic in the working group. We had a 6WIN, Nokia, Red Hat, and then Juniper representatives, all interested in
Also
the
team.
advanced. Yep, this was not registered by AI summary, but yes, there were more people involved, including Tim, and this is actually good starting point. So what we did in the kickoff more or less reminded on the what is the cluster networking working group about, what are the goals, confirmed lead. So I accepted to continue in this first period to act as a lead, and Vlad Onutu from Orange as a co-lead, and we also then moved and presented the host-based routing for implementation of Deutsche Telekom for those who have not been familiar with that, and are now as a next task we are looking for the proper name for that. So I'm working to set up some infrastructure from Linux Foundation to get voting and mailing list for proposals ready, so that we can do these nominations of the proposals and then final voting, because the name is very important, as the repository where we are going to push it is going to contain the name, and it's difficult or not practical to change it later on. So this is what will be moving forward, and on the next meeting later in October, we are going hopefully to have everything in place, and another point which we would like to do is to collect other topics of interest beside host-based routing and its further development. So it's a small update still, but we started and we are moving forward with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vuk. I think it's important that we started this new work group. Any comment or question?
Can you please share the meeting invite, Vuk?
Sorry, I will. So the meeting invite you can find on the work group page. I will share in the chat here the work group page, and then you can get the invite there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are there other topics, other things to be discussed? If not, then I think we can close this meeting. Thank you all for the participation and the contribution, and see you in a couple of weeks for the next TSC. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.